This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hey everybody, it is the After Party live on a Monday. Welcome to it. Thank you for your patience. The Mark Thompson show ended a little bit late. And so that is how it works around here. This show starts the after party when that show ends. And that's the way it is. Oh, that's interesting that I'm little again in the corner, but that's fine because I wanted to show you this. Yeah, I found this. I know it's not a Waterfall Wednesday. And I know we really talked about waterfall trivia on Thursday, but I don't know if my computer's been listening to me or what. But I got an email sent to me of, what does it say? It was the 10 most interesting hotels in the world. And we had just talked about Iguazu Falls. And then I get this message about this hotel perched right at the edge of Iguazu Falls. How cool would that be to stay there? Look at that place. I know. It's crazy, right? Here's some more. You can see how the waterfall in the background there and the hotel very close to it. I'm imagining going to sleep at night with the sound of thundering waterfalls in the background. Here's some other pictures of this hotel. A little library, nice lobby. They got a little pool near the waterfall. You can go to the spa. Pretty nice place. Yeah. But it's the interesting location being right at the edge of this waterfall. This is a pretty special hotel, really nice. I probably can't afford to stay here, but pretty amazing. You can see out the window, this window of this hotel room. Look at the waterfall there in the background. This is really cool. Yeah. It is called the Belmond Hotel das Cataratas. Cataratas is the name of it. There you are. See, look at that. You have the lawn of the hotel. Then you have the stairs down to the viewing platform where you can look at Iguazu Falls. I mean, wow. That's pretty cool. Maybe have a little picnic lunch as you overlook the waterfall there. Pretty nice. Yeah, that's Iguazu Falls. So sorry, I know my picture is big and little and big and little. I thought though that there. Oh, I'm big again. Hello. I thought that there are some pretty interesting hotels. That one stood out to me though among the 10 for being just right on the waterfall. Just crazy. So cool. Okay. Do you guys want to look at all the hotels or is that one enough? What do you think? I'll give you the list. It's 10 unique hotels that turn every stay into a story. And we'll go through them. I'll go through them with you. I'll share the email I got. Just because, I know it's a marketing email. I understand that. But still, some of the pictures they have to show are really, really beautiful. I know it's not even a Travel Tuesday, but here we go. This one is the Kali Mykonos in Mykonos, Greece. It's right above a private beach, this hotel. So that's what makes it special. And it has an infinity pool. Yeah, pretty cool. Here's this one. This is Hotel Cipriani in Venice, Italy. I know. It's pretty nice as well. This one has hosted royalty and Hollywood celebrities. It's apparently quite a big deal. Every room tells a story in the Hotel Cipriani. Here's one. This one is in Dubai. It's called The Lana. It's got some pretty incredible views. I'll give it that. I don't know about staying in one of these places where you're so high up. It might freak me out a little bit. The Lana, though, is this towering work of art, is what it's called. It blends contemporary elegance with old world glamour. The rooms are in pinks and creams, and it has a panoramic views of the Burj Khalifa. So there you go. This next one doesn't look like much until you get to the pool. And when you get to the pool, you go, okay, I have to back out a little bit. Because see, I mean, it looks like, all right. And then look at that infinity pool down below. Oh, wow. Welcome. Yeah. This one is called the Cap Caroso. It's on Sumba Island in Indonesia. It's a sanctuary where it is said coral reefs, turquoise lagoons, and megalithic tombs create a one of a kind retreat. They've got a biological farm here, an artist in residence. They have nature inspired suites with ocean views. Oh, you had me at ocean views. Is that this one doesn't look like much. The picture doesn't make me go, oh, I have to go put my feet up on this ledge, right? But it's in London and it's called the London Edition. They say it's a Studio 54 inspired luxury hotel. I could skip it. This one is called Le Grand Mazarin, and it is in Paris, France. That's pretty. Look at that. Yeah. It looks very Parisian, I must say. It is in the heart of Marolles, which is one of Paris's oldest artist districts. Le Grand Mazarin is celebrating the literary salons of the Enlightenment. There are frescoes and mosaics and bold Parisian colors as well. This one, I think, looks incredibly special. Here, check this out. Would you like to take your afternoon cocktail uh, out by the alpine amazing mountains? Why, sure. This is the Gstaad Palace in Gstaad, Switzerland, an alpine fortress fit for royalty. They say the kings and the queens and the international icons have been staying at the Gstaad Palace since 1913. Hidden beneath this fairy tale castle is a World War II era bunker that once stored Swiss gold. It has now been transformed into La Fromagerie, where you can have fondue in a former war vault. Okay, what? Yes, you go down into what was a World War II bunker, and they used to keep Swiss gold, and they've turned it into this fondue restaurant. Come on, that's cool. And look at that view. Incredible. Here's another one. This one is Hotel Belvedere in Lake Como, Italy. If you were wondering, if you didn't get the invite to George Clooney's house to stay, you just go here. It's Hotel Belvedere in Lake Como, Italy. It is a family-run hotel. It's been passed down through 5 generations of women since 1880. Each room is uniquely designed using handcrafted Italian furnishings. They have a wine cellar with rare vintages, including bottles of from old Nebbiolo producers. That's pretty good. I like it. Here's the Iguazu Falls one we talked about earlier, which was the only one I was intending to show you. You can see the waterfall in the background, and I just think that's so cool. Yeah, that's the Hotel das Cataratas in Iguazu Falls, Brazil. It is the only hotel inside Iguazu National Park. It is a pink-hued hotel, and it gives you a front row seat to one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. You can experience the waterfall before the park opens. You can take a helicopter ride over the waterfalls. They have moonlit jungle treks that you can go. And you're surrounded by the calls of toucans and monkeys. That's pretty neat. Here's another one. This is the world's first 7-starred hotel. It's in, yes, Dubai. It's called the Burj Al Arab. It is the world's first 7-star hotel. It's called a $1 billion architectural marvel. It is on its own island. It sits on its own island that they created for it. They have gold-plated accents and Hermes toiletries. I mean, they have a 21,000 crystal Swarovski ceiling. that is designed to mimic the Milky Way. And the most exclusive dining experience includes dining inside of an aquarium at the Ristorante L'Olivo. That's pretty cool. As a matter of fact, yeah, I don't know. I was looking at this hotel that's an island. I might have to show this to you because it's just so, I don't know, what the word is extreme, so I wild that you would build an island for a hotel. I had looked at this and found myself wondering what happens when you get a big wave coming? Like, what happens then? I don't know. See, there it is. It's on its little island that they've built here. Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know if its own little island is enough to make me wanna stay there. So there you go. I've shared my marketing email with you, but it had some cool stuff in it, so, sometimes you gotta, right? Alright, let's move forward and, talk about this asteroid. This asteroid is apparently the size of a 10-story building. NASA says it's called 2024 YR4. It's the size of a 10-story building, and we have an increased chance of a moon impact. They thought that it was destined for the Earth originally. Now they say it's more likely to make impact with the moon. Near Earth asteroid 2024 YR4. It's about 175 to 220 feet in size, and they thought at first it would hit the Earth in 2032. And now they say, no, it's not going to hit the Earth, but yeah, could hit the moon. The team at NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies at the Jet Propulsion Lab say they have updated 2024 YR4's chance of impacting the moon, which in 2032, from 1.7% in late February to now 3.8%. So the chance increases based on observations taken from both NASA's James Webb Space Telescope and from ground-based telescopes as well. They also say about this object that in the small chance the asteroid was to impact, it would not alter the orbit of the moon. They think, the folks at NASA, that by mid-April, asteroid 2024 YR4 will be too far and faint to be observed by ground-based telescopes. But the Webb telescope will be able to start observing this asteroid again in May. So they're keeping their eyes on this 10-story building-sized asteroid. So that, that should give us, I guess, a little bit of peace. At least someone's looking and someone knows where it is. Yeah, I don't know. Here's a story for you, an animal story. Get that deer. You can see it in the foreground there. It is a white deer. Yeah, it's an albino deer. That's what they say. Extremely rare albino deer. And this family was driving home on back roads and saw two of them, two albino deer. They think it's a 1 in 400 million event. This man was headed home with his family after he was celebrating his son's 13th birthday. And they were driving home just at dusk on this back road when the man's wife hollered out, "It's an albino deer." And they didn't know exactly, is it an albino deer or is it a piebald deer? Because there's a difference. But seeing these two animals together is apparently a really, really rare. So he said he put on the brakes, he backed up, and there were two of them in this field just hanging out. So deer with varying amounts of white fur are called piebald deer. They're not true albino deer. The true albino deer have pink eyes and totally white hair. But yeah, it's kind of cool. So they apparently recently moved from Arizona to Iowa. Iowa is where they saw these 2 white deer. He said, "We're big wildlife enthusiasts, so it was kind of neat to see because we love seeing animals that you typically don't see on the trail." And so it looks like they picked the right place to live. They're just hanging out with other deer like it's no big deal. Pretty interesting. I also have a story for you about a baseball team having to deal with a Canadian goose. Put a little Cubs hat on him there. Yeah. The goose has decided to take up residence at Wrigley Field, and there are now goose keepers or geese keepers in place to protect this lone Canadian goose nesting at Wrigley Field. As a matter of fact, they have a section of the bleachers blocked off so that no one bothers this goose. The fans originally spotted the goose near the outfield bleachers in the greenery boxes. During Saturday's game against the Padres, there was a team of geese keepers now keeping the area clear of human fans. The Canadian goose nesting season usually goes from mid-March through April, and they lay about 5 eggs per season, and the eggs take about 28 days to hatch. They don't know yet if the goose at Wrigley Field has laid eggs or is just hanging around there because there's a lot of extra food available. Got some nachos going, some hot dogs left over. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service says Canadian geese are protected and that no person can take, kill, possess, import, export, transport, sell, purchase, barter, offer for sale any migratory bird or parts, nests, eggs, or such bird as may be permitted under the terms of a valid permit. And if you're in Illinois, it is not allowed to capture or relocate a Canadian geese to another site within the state. Once they land and decide to nest, that is it. And if you want to destroy a nest or eggs, you have to get a special permit for that. So, not only that, but there was a curse. That 71-year World Series appearance drought that is often blamed on the curse of the billy goat, when officials allegedly kicked out a local tavern owner in Game 4 of the 1945 World Series at Wrigley alongside his pet goat. And that is why a lot of fans thought the team lost to the Mets because they kicked the goat out. So what you don't want to do is jinx anything by kicking out the Canadian goose. Not even a little bit. So they've closed off a section. They are issuing a statement as well. The Cubs senior director of communications saying, "At the friendly confines, we truly mean it when we say everyone is welcome, including the goose and her nest." They do say there is a nest, "who took up residence in the bleachers. We are giving her the space she needs while we've been working closely with a wildlife organization to manage the situation safely and responsibly in full accordance with state law. In the meantime," they say, "we have blocked off the area to fans. Protecting our fans and our feathered guest is our top priority." So, got a little Canadian geese action out of Wrigley Field. This next story comes with a video. Apparently, Boris Johnson in the UK was at a safari park with his family when, got a little too close to an emu. Those emus, they'll get you. And he's got a little child with him, which is kind of dangerous for the emu to come in with the big beak, because we know these animals are really, really powerful. But here's what happened. Yeah. So it looks like the emu attacked Boris Johnson and not the child. Yeah. Yeah, not a good scene there. He his wife posted the video. She said apparently she said it was too good not to share. Looks like everything's okay. Just a little emu attack there. In the Bay Area, well, kind of more Central Valley, there is a peacock thief. Imagine going to a park and grabbing a peacock by the tail feathers and running off with the peacock. Not cool. This happened at Hart Park. This is park in Bakersfield. It's a 370-acre park. It's got a couple lakes, some canals. Kern River runs alongside the park. And mid-March, Kern County sheriffs say they responded to a report of a stolen peacock here. There's minimal suspect description, but the question is, what do they want with a peacock? Why would this person just steal a peacock? Very interesting. The peacock is part of a wild pack that stays near this building in the park called the Peacock House. The nature center in the Adobe building, this is right where the peacock was reported missing. So these families run into this peacock center, and they say a couple of families came in to the nature center, and they said that they saw a guy grab this peacock by the tail feathers and take off with it. And that's all they knew. The peacocks in Hart Park have been living in this area for about 100 years. And because of this, they've become a local attraction. Everyone knows you can go to Hart Park and see the peacocks. So leave the peacocks alone. Park rangers say, we don't cage them. They go wherever they want to go. We feed them a little bit, but other than that, they're just part of the park. The birds are wild, but technically they're county property. And so that makes the theft illegal. So there's now a $500 reward being offered for the return of this peacock or anyone who has information that leads to the return of this peacock. They say it's good to get the bird back, but on the other hand, we want to start letting it be known that there are consequences for this kind of thing. You can't just go to Hart Park and steal a peacock. I don't know, did you want it for your house? You took it away from its peacock flock? Like what's the thinking here? Very frustrating. So, yeah, Hart Park in Bakersfield. I don't like this kind of story. This makes me upset. Bring the peacock back. No, thank you. Mm-mm. All right. Here's another one of these cases where I'm going to apologize in advance for showing you a picture of a giant spider. But there's some new science involved in the study of this spider, and it's thought that it weaves a web in such a way that it's setting a tripwire for its prey. So it's not just the prey. I know there. I'm sorry. There he is. I know. Look away. Look away. It's not just that the spider makes a web and then the prey gets caught in the web and that they eventually see that there's something in the web. Mm-mm. It is, and these is a species of cave-dwelling spiders that have adapted their weaving style to form these tripwire mechanisms that trap unfortunate prey. It's the European cave orb spider, and it lives in the caves of Western and Central Europe, although they can be found in other dark habitats, sewers, bunkers, railway tunnels, hollow trees. They just like a dark hole. The nature of these habitats and the impact on the spiders' diets might be behind the unusual tactics that they use to catch their prey. So usually these orb spiders spin circular webs. The construction usually catches flying insects like mosquitoes or flies or winged ants, but they also like some other creatures as well. And so they've adapted their hunting techniques. They like crawling insects. They like to eat other spiders, slugs. So They have more radial threads that now serve as anchors and attach the structure to a cave wall. Whereas the webs of spiders found above ground tend to have 5 to 10 attachment points, these spiders have 10 to 20. And until now, researchers have not been sure exactly how the web works to trap crawling prey. They've had a few theories, and they finally looked into it. And now they say it's a tripwire. They think that uh, this creature leaves the web to catch the prey. The prey slips off the cave wall, falls into the web, and that the web then acts like a tripwire, producing vibrations that alert the spider to the presence of prey. So the researchers went to this cave in Cresswell Crags Archaeological Park in Derbyshire, UK, and they watched as a mealworm, a centipede, both touched the web of this European cave orb spider, and then they observed the spider's behavior. In each of the 3 observations, the spider responded by running alongside a neighboring radius rather than the radius that had been directly touched by the potential prey. According to the researchers, it might be a smart tactic that allows the spider to approach the prey from behind. Yeah, interesting. They say that attempts by the spider to claim the prey uh, were unsuccessful because the prey were a potential threat. And so they have to do some more research here. But they think they set tripwires, and I'm now going to take the spider off the screen because you don't want to look at the spider anymore. Neither do I. I don't want to look at the spider either. Can we talk about ancient amphibians? Let's get this picture up on the screen. That's not so bad. Ancient amphibians. These ancient alligator-sized amphibians apparently died under very mysterious circumstances. The researchers think this creature spent most, if not all, of its life in the water, eating anything unfortunate enough to venture too far into the water. It is now a fossil that has been uncovered in Wyoming, and paleontologists describe these specimens as exquisitely preserved. They still don't know why they all died off, though, but they published a study on it in the journal PLOS One. It is called Metopusaurid tenospondylis. Spondylus. They're some of the earliest ancestors of frogs, toads, and salamanders. The oldest known species in North America existed exclusively on the continent during the Triassic area about 230 million years ago. It was a squat, 4-legged animal that lived in freshwater ponds, rivers, and lakes and ate anything it could get its mouth on. And the paleontologists at the University of Wisconsin-Madison say they've done some excavation work on an ancient floodplain site in Dubois, Wyoming, and that is where they found dozens of fossilized remains of these creatures that more than doubled the number of known specimens that they had. They appeared to have died during a single mass mortality event. That's why they found so many in one spot. They say it was a local die-off, like they see when rivers dry up or lakes have influxes of nutrients like algae blooms, that type of thing, which one can kill off fish. This one stands out, this die-off, because of the rock in which it was found. They say fine-grained soil and layered sediments indicate a low energy or calm depositional environment. So there was lack of strong currents. And that is why the skeletons, they think, are largely intact and well preserved. That there are some articulated bones that are nearly absent in other creatures that were found in North America. They also have the discovery of articulated toothy plates embedded in the soft tissue of the mouth, as well as the unique way other fossils formed as well. What seems to have happened is that calcium carbonate dissolved after these creatures were buried, and the outer organic layer, which helps prevent the shell from dissolving in fresh water during the life, left an impression in the mud and it turned to rock and then was later lost. This mass burial, they think, was likely due to the existence of a breeding colony or possibly a drought induced restricted waterway that concentrated these creatures together before they died. And the researchers say the assemblage is a snapshot of a single population rather than an accumulation over time. So they're doing some more examinations of this site and of these creatures, but it's so interesting that they were all found together like that. Should we do a lotto of the day? Let's do a lotto of the day. Uh, as a matter of fact, this one is, it's interesting the way that people pick their numbers. So random, right? Why not go ahead and just use the numbers from your odometer? And that's what this lady did. She's from Maryland, and she looked at the odometer on her car and used those numbers and went in and bought a pick 5 drawing. She ended up winning $100,000. This happened in Prince George's County. This woman is a regular player. She says she's collected prizes of up to $5,000 in the past. 100,000 though, that was her biggest one. She said she recently decided to give the pick 5 a try, bought a couple tickets bearing the last 5 digits from her car's odometer from the 7-Eleven in Fort Washington. She visited the store again after the drawing and scanned one of her tickets. She said, when I scanned my ticket, it said $50,000 winner. She said, I was shook. I ran out of the store and went straight to my car to call my dad. The woman's tickets each earned her a $50,000 prize for a total of $100,000. She calls it a dream and a blessing. She's going to put that money to good use, paying bills, paying off her car, and she says she'll be sharing that money with her father as well. So that's nice. We like that. We share it with a family member. Well done. Okay, I have some caves for you on Hide in Your Cave Monday, and I decided to keep it in California this time around for Hide in Your Cave Monday. Does anybody feel like hiding in a cave today? Yeah, why not? Hide in Your Cave Monday indeed. These are the top 5 caves in Yosemite. And the first one, Yosemite, the first one is called Lilburn Cave, Lilburn. Lilburn Cave is pretty cool. I would even call it special. It has these marble striations on the walls. It's a marble cave. Check it out. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. This is Lilburn Cave. And I know it's pretty interesting the way in which the marble striations are all over the walls kind of makes it different than I think a lot of other caves. I have another picture for you too. You can't see the marble in this one, but you can see the formations inside the cave. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So, Lilburn Cave is an incredible cavern with these marble walls with white and black stripes, as well as other breathtaking colors from more than 30 natural minerals. It features a smooth stream that leads back to the crystal clear Big Spring, which is a natural water resource. It is managed by the Cave Research Foundation, and this cave, Lilburn Cave, is specifically used for research purposes. So I don't think it's open to the public. But how cool is that? Just so interesting. Lilburn Cave. The next one on the list is called Crystal Cave. Crystal Cave is part of Sequoia Park's conservancy. They often will open it. It's got 3 miles of carved passages. It's the only commercialized cave in the park, and it has these unique shapes of naturally formed speleothems, which are mineral formations created from groundwater. There also may be some cave dwelling aquatic isopods living in the river running through the caverns. So this is Crystal Cave, and I have a little that's actually Lilburn Cave, but I have a video. I have a video of Crystal Cave. So I want to share that with you. Here it is. Exploring Crystal Cave. Might as well. Let's explore it together. I'll take the music down. Here's what it looks like. We get to walk in together. So beautiful in this area. Big old redwood trees. Yeah, really, really nice. Makes me want to be more of an outdoorsy person. So here's Crystal Cave. Some really interesting formations in this cave. Again, many of them formed by groundwater as a creek runs through this area. You can see the water down below. So beautiful. Crystal Cave in Sequoia National Park. Yeah, pretty cool. Oh, lots of geologists. There's some more pictures of the cave. So interesting. And the different colors in this cave, fascinating as well. Yeah. I can hide out in there. I don't know. Flashlight, some snacks, bottle of wine. I'm good to go. It is kind of a tight squeeze in some of these areas. You kind of have to duck down. You can see them ducking down in there and walking through. And there's the river that runs through the cave. And you can see the marble walls in here as well. It's all part of the same cave system. You can see the river rushing down into the cave. Yeah. And there's some more of the marble you can see. Telling you guys, the world is an interesting and beautiful place. And if I wasn't doing this with you guys, I don't think I would ever realize that there were marble caves in Yosemite area. So I'm glad to know that. Look at that. Look at those formations. You can see some of those created by or helped created by water. Wow. I'm kind of glad we get to experience it like this because I don't really think I want to go down there. Look at that. Looks like little eggs, but they're little rocks, stones. Just wow. So again, that is Crystal Cave. I don't know how much of it you want to see, but I'll pause it there. And I'll tell you some of the other really interesting caves in this area in the Yosemite area. Well, that was number 2, Crystal Cave. But some of the others include Spider Cave. There's one I am not going into. Although it is supposed to be one of the most cherished but hidden caves in Yosemite Valley, Spider Caves. They are found off the lower Yosemite Falls Trail and feature stunning formations and intricate pathways. You might have to hike, climb walls, and wiggle through tight spaces, but they say it's worth it. No, I'm not going in Spider Cave in tight spaces. Absolutely not. The 4th one on the list is called the Mineral King Caves, which consists of more than 30 caverns, 15 springs, dozens of sinkholes, blind valleys, and sinking streams. They say you have to hike along rocky terrain and explore the river, but it's fed by these blue waters of this natural spring. And you'll discover these towering rock formations, an incredible cave with an all ice floor. Again, that's Mineral King Caves. And the 5th one is called the Hurricane Crawl Cave, which is becoming one of the most popular caves in Yosemite. It's got these large helictites twisted formations with beautiful hues of orange, red, and yellow, and an active natural spring river winding its way through the cave. So that's the Hurricane Crawl Cave as well. Yeah. Some of these formations are pretty incredible. I will say that. Yeah, we're back to Crystal Cave here. You can see the water drip, drip, dripping. Kind of relaxing in a way to watch the goings on inside of Crystal Cave. Why not? They almost look like creatures, don't they? Yeah. All right. Well, that looks like coral. Doesn't that look like coral, the formation? Well, that is Hide in Your Cave Monday. And I think we've done enough hiding. Time to come back out of Hide in Your Cave Monday. Oh, well. It has to end sometime, right? I know I could watch that all day. I like it. It's relaxing and it's nice. Can we talk about space miso? Scientists have fermented miso in space, which is kind of a big deal because, they're always looking for what they're going to feed people when we finally, oh, get to Mars, get to the moon, do whatever. Apparently, we're all eating miso, space miso. Here it is. I mean, you could do worse than miso, right? But when they fermented this miso in space, it tasted different than miso fermented on the Earth. They think it's because of the changes in microorganisms from those living in and around us. So that's the way it is. They did this on the International Space Station. The researchers back in 2020, they sent a small container with miso to be to the ISS. They kept it up there for about a month. It fermented and it turned into miso, and they did two control batches back here on Earth. One in Massachusetts, the other in Denmark. The space miso was similar in smell and taste to the two on Earth, but it had a nuttier, more roasted flavor. There are some features, according to the folks, the lead author of the study at the University of Denmark, says there are some features of the space environment in low Earth orbit, in particular microgravity and increased radiation, that could have impacts on how microbes grow and metabolize and how fermentation works. So they wanted to explore the effects of these conditions. So comparing the Earth miso to the space miso, they found differences beyond flavor. They were analyzing the microbial communities, and they said that's when it was clear that while fermentation is possible in space, there are differences in which microbes thrive that might affect not only the production of future food products, but also our health as well. So the fermentation on the International Space Station shows how long a living system at the microbial scale can thrive through the diversity of its microbial community. And that emphasizes the potential for life to exist in space. While the ISS is often seen as a sterile environment, the research in this case for the space miso shows microbes and non human life have agency in space, raising significant bioethical questions about removing plants and microbes from their home planet and introducing them to extraterrestrial environments. The research is now showing that the International Space Station is now home to microbes that diverge from their earthly counterparts. The ISS, as we know, it's resupplied regularly. But they say if humanity's presence in space continues to expand, that we need to have food production and preparation in place because that's going to be more important than ever. So the space miso, they say, is a start on what's possible, but they say it starts a larger conversation about social structures in space, the value of maybe domestic roles within scientific and engineering fields as well. Yeah. The study published in the journal iScience, Space Miso, They're doing all kinds of cool stuff in space. I'll tell you what. Yeah, gotta love it. All right. Well, I know it's a shorter show, but I know you guys all probably have to go as well. Thank you for being here. I just really appreciate you so much for hanging with me. Uh, you're ready for a nap now? Tammy's ready for her nap. Little space miso. She's good to go. Got a little cave, space miso. It's all right. Mhm. Well, can't be if they're trying to ferment it, right? No, that would be the opposite. John Watson says they'll probably be eating Soylent Green in space when they start going to Mars. Let's hope not. Yikes. No. You want more? Oh, well, it's almost 2:15, so I don't want to keep you too long. I'm sorry. You've never Nolavidian's never had miso. To go have some miso soup at your local sushi restaurant. Ms. Organic says the caves in the Ozarks have black discoloration because people would roll flaming tires down into them to see inside. Oh, that's interesting. I have to look for that next week. Yeah, me too, Eileen. I enjoy the cave pictures, but too claustrophobic to be a spelunker. Yeah, I'm not going down there, especially not into the tight fit spider cave. That's a no, that's a deal breaker. But I'll look at pictures of them for a long time. Absolutely. I'm fascinated to see what's down there. Mm, very cool. All right. Well, thus ends the After Party Live. Please click the like button. Please click the subscribe button as well. Thank you to everyone who contributes to the show. PayPal link is in the show description. Enough said about that. And until we meet again, make it the very best day. Bye for now, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow on The Mark Thompson Show. David K. Johnston will be on the show, so please make sure to join in.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.